We back. Yeah. Malcolm, this is another video from the Jubilee. Do all Muslims think the same?
Oh, this is gonna be good.
I guess let's see what happens. Starting in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, good humans. Welcome to another episode of Spectrum. This is Michael.
Hello.
I'm Ian, and stick around at the end. We're going to talk a little bit with you guys.
Believing men and believing women. Same level.
No, disagree. I have in the court of law, the Quran explicitly states
I'm sorry.
2 female witnesses carry the weight of 1 male, and that's why I stood over there.
Yeah.
I wish I was there with you guys. Like it's, honestly, it just gets really hard. Like it's just 5 times a day and it's like spread throughout the day. We all live like young professional lives and it gets kind of in the way.
If I could quantify it, I'm averaging about 3 out of 5 prayers. I think I will find myself in prayer more when I'm in desperation. It's not something that's subjective. I know we should be all praying as a requirement.
I just want to say it takes a lot of guts to be honest and say that. I honestly believe that if you feel it in your heart that you have a strong relationship with God, God will have mercy on you with whatever you're dealing with, so.
And being on this line doesn't mean it's like a piece of cake
Exactly.
to do the 5 daily prayers. It is a struggle, it's a challenge. I was working in a corporate environment where I could not comfortably find a space, so I'd have to go pray in the car or in the parking lot. So it is a challenge, but yeah.
Pause. Praying 5 times a day that just sounds wild. What the fuck? What were we watching? We was watching and reviewing something, probably. And I think the guy, he was like at an unemployment office, but then the other guy told him to hold his spot for him or some shit. And he like snuck off to like a closet or something so he could pray. Mm-hmm. You know what the hell that was? Because he was reviewing, it had to be a show. I just don't remember what the heck it was.
I think it was a show. I think it was like one of those like.
I want to say it was was it The Shy?
No.
It was something. I can't remember.
Something. I think they were like.
I know they was like in either unemployment office or some. It was in some type of office, and the dude.
I think it was like one of those "what would you do" situation things. That's what you're talking about, like.
Probably so.
When we watch, like somebody's doing something and then somebody says something like off the wall or crazy or some shit.
I can't remember, but yeah, praying 5 times a day. I don't know how. I don't know if it's like, is their prayer like time based or something like that?
I sometimes it is. I guess I don't.
Or do they just say? Do they probably say like the same prayer like 5 times a day or something like that? Probably. Some I don't know nothing about.
I'm guessing like it's like, cause I don't know. They probably do have like a certain time or something that they.
I can imagine doing that shit though, like on a regular, like on my schedule.
Like you're in the middle of something and you just gotta like stop.
I'd be lucky to get to 2.
Right.
I don't know. They could do like 5.
5, yeah. That's like amazing. Like, cause I can see like morning and then like night. Yeah. But like in between that's kind of hard.
I guess lunch break.
It's like before it was like, yeah, I guess the third, now that you said before you eat and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's probably, you could probably get in.
But also, it just depends on how long like their prayer is and shit like that.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Because like if they're reciting something, mantra or whatever, then that probably takes a lot of time too.
Yeah. Let's see what we learn in the rest of this video, Malcolm. Starting in 3, 2, 1.
Islam promotes violence.
You know that's not to be true.
Yeah. Even though I don't know why a lot of people A lot of people think that.
Islam is like supposed to be the most peaceful.
We're not allowed to cut down trees during war. We're not allowed to hurt children and mothers. We're not allowed to hurt our own prisoners. And when people associate terrorism, something so disgusting with Islam, it hurts me because ISIS targets Muslims more than they target anybody else.
And in the age of Google, there's no excuse. Like, if you don't know that Islam means peace, Islam means surrender, being a Muslim is one who submits their will to God, how is that violent? Like,
at the end of the day, I feel like media is the one that has that hand and that stronghold causing folks to be that way or think that way.
I guess I literally listened to the prompts, does Islam promote violence? And I'm only speaking not from my personal perspective, but just from trying to understand how discussions about this religion can be used to defame it, to justify terrorism per se. When somebody says, and for the record, kill a non-believer, let's acknowledge that sentence. And if we're going to reach a conclusion and a solution with somebody who does think this way of us and our faith, we need to understand their argument thoroughly.
But
I disagree with what you just said.
Please.
I really do, because I read the Quran every day as a practice. And not once in 2019 have I yet gotten to a verse about violence. All of them about mercy of God, turn to God, God is with you. To me, that's an emotional connection.
Okay, I understand.
That is an emotional connection to my Creator.
Sure.
And I'm not going to allow anybody to take that away.
I'll take the statement that you gave, kill the non-believers. At the time of the Holy Prophet, the Muslims were endangered. They were the minority, right?
That's what I'm saying.
So, but it doesn't necessarily mean that because we are in danger that whenever there's a non-believer, we kill them.
No.
What non-believer refers to are like the Meccans or like the people that were actively going against Muslims and trying to harm us and stuff.
And I wanted this healthy discourse.
Yes, and
because
I agree
dwell
with you.
upon that other perspective. I didn't grow up proud of those verses because I didn't understand them.
Yeah,
but
and
now that I do
times-
have full understanding, I know that it's important to keep not a one-dimensional perspective, but not even accept the others, but thoroughly understand it.
Right. Like I understand what he was saying, because like it's the same thing with every religion. Like there's like certain clauses or certain phrases or something that like certain people use that as an excuse to do what the fuck they do. Like I guess we could use Christianity, like the Crusaders, like they raped and pillaged villages and shit, and they use shit from saying that they're doing the work of God and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same in every aspect, and people have to understand, like, I guess understanding the certain point of like that way of thinking, like it, like everybody's not like thinking like that, and like it, like you do have like those type of people that like literally take things literally when
also, it's I don't know like shit about the Quran or whatever the case is, but when it does say kill non-believers, it may not mean like physically,
right?
Like so, kill them. Like it may mean like just kind of cut them off or something like that.
Right.
Like, it probably doesn't mean like physically kill them.
Yeah.
Like it's just probably like another term is like just ignore them or some shit like
cut
that.
Off or something.
Yeah, something like that. It's probably not. It's probably not like literal in the literal sense of like actual kill them and shit like that.
Yeah, that's why I'm like it all depends on. I want to say it like anything can be deadly depending on the wielder. That's my phrase for like everything. Like so like depending on who's wielding like a certain phrase or like or religion or anything like that, like anything in that aspect of like could be used the wrong way, like so to speak. So like anything could be used for evil. Like technology can be used for evil. Like,
I know Islam meant peace and everything.
Yeah.
Also, and that's just based off like actually seeing Muslims talking, like experiencing and stuff like that. But I'm assuming it's just like every religion or every group or every faction or whatever the fuck.
Everybody has like
it's always probably like a bad
extremist,
like
and then
that.
Everybody gets clumped in with that.
And just like they were saying too, like the
extremist.
media, and that's like after fucking 9/11. What the fuck did I just watch? I just watched something, and damn, what did I watch? I was watching Young Turks. Because one of the reporters was saying that he's Muslim, but his father was Muslim. He came in the country in either 82 or 92 or some shit like that, and they loved the Muslims and everything like that. But as soon as 9/11 happened, a lot of shit turned. And like, I guess that's the way that America looks at Muslims or Islamics or whatever the case is. But yeah, a lot of that shit is like based off media. Everybody thinks like Muslims either they're terrorists or like some other wild shit just based off media, because that's the only thing like they get portrayed as like at this point, because
and that's
it's kind of like negative. It's like a negative connotation around like Muslims and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's the only information that they're
throwing out. Yeah,
they're getting all this negativity.
You'll never know unless you actually talk to somebody or like do actual research and shit like that. Like nobody would actually know if your only logic is based off media. You'll be told wrong all the time.
Right.
Like you'll never know shit at all. Starting in the 3, 2, 1.
The job should be mandatory. 3, 2, 1.
I have strong feelings. I just feel like it's a woman's right to cover if she wants to. And to tell a woman what to do with her body is totally against our Islamic principles. So,
you know, being a guy here, I just made a really conscious decision to be like somewhat agree, because people don't understand that hijab is like a concept, as far as like it's not just like the actual headscarf. Islam really promotes the idea of modesty, and that's how you get closer to God. And if you feel like having a headscarf is a way for you to get closer to God, then so be it.
100% agree with that, because it's not just a headscarf, it's your behavior, it's a personality, it's how you treat your friends and your neighbors. Yeah, for a lot of people, the process is build my courage, my bravery, my confidence, and then wear the scarf. For me, it was kind of reversed. I started with the scarf because I knew that I was not going to build that bravery unless I started wearing it. Because when you put it on, you start acting different, you start acting nicer, you're kinder, because now you're representing your religion, your faith.
You make me think really deep about that, because I've been struggling. I wore it when I was about 15, I tried it out. But it's been a struggle because internally I want to be a better Muslimah, that I'm going to represent to society before my outer side represents Islam.
Okay. So I didn't know the hijab, I guess. I think I knew it was supposed to like bring them closer to God, whatever the case is. But I didn't know like it's supposed to like, I don't know,
condenses.
I don't want to say like just make them more godly, but that's the only thing I can actually come up in my fucking head at this moment in time, because I can put my words together. But I guess it's supposed to make them a better person and like change their attitude and like more of the things that I guess God would want you to do in the sense of saying. So I didn't know that shit.
Yeah, because like what mostly like I've been like, I guess what we've been feed through like media and other places and stuff, like you just assume that it's more so culturally like
that's
induced.
what I thought until I learned like it's supposed to bring them closer to God, whatever the case is.
Yeah,
but I just thought it was like part of their religion and that's why they do it. And
right, because culturally, like you know, as far as the jobs, like women, they well, from what like is presented to us as like outsiders, is that like women hire their beauty to they married and all that other stuff, and they don't want anybody but like their husband to see them a certain way and certain light and all this other stuff. So like, you know, that like here, like that side of it is like
it's different.
It's different and cool to like know that like it's not just like this like cultural thing.
Sexist type
type of thing. Is more of a religionist, like closer to God thing, which a lot of people can relate to, because there's like people that's like in like since we got dreads, like dread community, they believe like, you know, that every lock is a connection to like spirit close to God and all this other stuff.
Do?
So yeah, it's wild, bro.
I ain't no shit about that. I did not know I was part of a cult.
Right.
I did not know that.
Right. You know, some people think that like, because you know, when you see some dreadhead people, you either think one or two ways. You think that like from the media perspective that we all like
Chief Keefs.
Yeah, we all Chief Keefs, like just bang 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 in the middle of the fucking street and shit. They're just shooting people down and shit. Or then you got like these Or the other side, like all philosophical, like hippies, like God is this and God, yeah. So
I didn't know that shit. I didn't know people thought like dreadlocks was like.
Yeah, because there are people that like count, literally they know the count in their head of like how many dreads and like that represents the crown. Like I believe like my hair is kind of a connection, but not like in the sense of like
I don't know
like extreme. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, like
probably roots like my.
Yeah, I don't know like the count and shit in my fucking hair. I just know I got a lot of fucking hair and like I was like, yeah, I mean like. It's kind of relatable.
I imagine somebody fucking counting their sister locks.
Oh my god!
If you know
Good
the count,
luck.
if you know the count of your sister locks, bro.
Good luck.
That's a wild shit right there. I didn't know I was part of a cult. That surprises me.
He said, "I didn't know I was part of a cult."
That's just
Most people, no, but like if you like. That's the thing, like people only think those one or two ways, but like we're someone like we're like one of those subgroups that's like in the middle. Like
I just want a hair.
He's like, I just want a hair. Yeah, I wanted to be something different, and then like basically by like finding myself and like learning more like about myself, I ended up liking my hair or the style and stuff. Like I didn't think of it as that way of like, man, I want to be more like God, so like I need to have these amount of numbers of dreads in my head to be connected to God in this certain kind of way. Like no, I just liked it because like it felt good and comfortable to me,
I understand that.
So yeah.
I just had a brain fart. Starting in the 3, 2, 1.
Let me stop blowing your mind.
3, 2, 1.
Because of media.
Though I'm not a traditional Muslim female, I don't wear the scarf. When I was younger, I'd be walking home from the masjid with my mom. She wears the hijab. This was before September 11th even happening. She would get teenagers in cars driving by, spitting on us, cursing at us. She would always say, just brush it off.
When you show that you're a Muslim in any way, people kind of, like, you get those glances every so often. But what happened was that after, like, all this, like, election things happened, it's funny, people who you grew up with, people who you knew your entire lives are kind of looking at you a little differently. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. I was like, wait a second, like, you know me. I didn't think this would be an issue,
I personally have not experienced explicit discrimination. I conveniently can shave my beard and try to compensate almost, and it's sad to admit, but I know it's not my job to create a comfort space for another person. However, I would say that if you do guys confront it explicitly, try to think of it as an opportunity to teach as opposed to reacting with emotion.
I think it also depends on what the
Depends on
encounter
who
is.
you
Like
dealing
I had
with.
a bottle thrown at me after 9/11. I'm not gonna go confront that person and be like, "Hey, let's build bridges."
Right.
Someone who's
Oh,
got
hell,
an
that.
attitude or misconception, I'll work on that.
Pause. Shit.
Yeah, oh hell, that
Yeah.
fuck. He threw a bottle at me, talking, let's build bridges, hugs.
No.
Nah, fuck all that. Peace, no peace.
Yeah, I would assume like they all agreed on that because just based off media and everything like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not surprised by that because we just talked about that pretty much.
I'm not surprised at all either. Yeah, because that's just tough, man.
But unfortunately, like he has to try to conform himself, and I understand why. But I mean,
yeah,
just like I always say, like
that's why I said relatable, man. Because like
I always say, bro, like
every minority has to
everybody
like
ain't gonna like you, and then if they don't like you, fuck them.
Yeah.
I mean, people gonna think what they want to think anyway, so
yeah, it's
let them have their thoughts. If they don't like you, fuck them, dog. You ain't gotta conform to nobody.
Yeah, I would just say, like he said before, and like best thing you could do is just teach motherfuckers.
But like she said,
but sometimes, yeah, like she said, teach the ones you can, but the ones you can't, don't bother with it.
Can't love everybody.
Yeah, you can't.
Starting in 3, 2, 1.
Everybody ain't meant to get hugs.
Right.
Equal to men. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, this should be interesting. That's more so the culture thing I'm thinking.
change.
I don't know if they talking like
culture or are they talking about more
So
so
the reason
religions.
I still don't agree and not strongly agree is that my understanding of human beings is that that women and men in general have different roles. You know, men cannot bear children, women do. In Islam, there's no discriminatory thing. There's nothing that a man can do that a woman cannot.
And I don't have to prove otherwise except to cite in the Quran when Allah addresses us, believing men and believing women. Same level.
No, disagree.
I read the Quran.
Verbatim.
So you can't tell me.
This, in the court of law, the Quran explicitly states
I'm sorry.
2 female witnesses carry the weight of
sorry.
1 male. And
I'm
that's why I
sorry.
stood over there. I personally feel, and if it were up to me, it would be 50-50. There is no discrimination on my personal bias, but
why are you standing there?
I'm acknowledging that the Quran prescribes something here, right?
No.
In Islam, we do get equal opportunities. Scientifically, no, we're not equal. Because men can do things physically that we can't do. Women can do things that men can't do. So my question would be, what aspect are we discussing?
Sure. Personal belief versus Islamic belief versus societal belief, that's 3 different things. If I'm saying personally, I believe women can be greater than men. I believe women have...
Islam says that.
However, can we acknowledge one thing?
Islam promotes that completely, yeah.
I don't know, because I don't know what the fuck the Quran says, and I don't know, like, everything, but, like he's kind of saying...
Yeah, it is like a vague-ass question.
Yeah. It's kind of hard, because he trying to explain himself, but I guess, like, the Quran or whatever the case says shit different. I wish everybody was 50-50, but at the end of the day, women are kind of better than men. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry to say.
Society tells us the other way.
You
but
ain't finna see me go through pain for 9 months and push a baby out.
Right?
Push it out where?
I do make this joke with my wife all the time. I was like, she's like, yeah, that's why men get pregnant. I was like, shit, I'd love to be pregnant. Boss you around and how you go
get my ice cream and pickles at 2 in the morning.
I always joke and tell her that. I was like, I'd love to sit there and eat for that long amount of time. But I was like, but that was a joke. That was a joke to her, and she understands like one sense of humor and stuff. But
women are better than men. They mature faster and all that other shit, like shit like that.
Yeah.
I would assume is it stuff that women can't do that man? Oh, am I saying that right? That women.
Yeah, that's why I'm like
can't do that men can do. I guess I'm saying that right.
It's like the dude was saying, it's kind of vague because like if you speaking like physically,
she was saying like physically. I know some women that are fucking bodybuilders.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
That's why I'm like, you talking about lifting some shit. I was like, it depends because I know some women that can
bench press
squat.
my ass.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
They squat like 500.
Yeah, so I don't know like exactly.
Yeah, so
but there are things that men can't do that women can't do.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, because our wives make that perfectly clear with the whole birthing thing. It's like you ain't birthing. And they're like, yeah, we know. You birthed the kids.
You pushed.
You pushed.
We got it.
You gotta keep using that coin. You ain't gotta keep using that coin in the argument.
But yeah, so I don't know exactly what they were talking about, but yeah, either we're equal or women are better at this point.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna argue with nobody about that shit.
Yeah. I think it's gonna take us a long time, like society wise, to like, cause like we're starting to see like we're trying to get there to equality, but we're not there. But it's like a slow ass roller coaster ride. We're still at the fucking bottom, waiting to get up to the top of that shit. With that, cause like you could see it now with like we still ain't it with jobs and pay and shit.
Yeah,
and like, that shit got a long way to go and shit. Cause like fascinating thing was like they was talking about FIFA, like the like how women and men get paid like way differently. Like
that's every male and female.
Yeah, that's every male and female.
WNBA don't get paid shit.
Yeah.
Compared to the NBA.
Right. And a lot of people were like saying, well, that's more so of audience of who watching, but then like, okay,
who do y'all promote the most though?
Right. And then like on the same notion, like there are times where a whole bunch of times where like the women outsell like viewership wise, like outsell like the man league and shit.
Yeah,
so like so
that's just society though.
Yeah.
Starting again in 3, 2, 1.
You can be Muslim and part of the LGBT community.
This is gonna be interesting.
Nah, that's something I don't know nothing about. Gotta pick a side.
It's such a broad question that I'm gonna stand here just to be on the safe side.
I'm a contradictory human being. I pray with one hand and commit sin with the other. So I'm not in a position to be able to tell somebody that they're excluded from a whole faith if perhaps their faith in God is stronger than mine.
Okay, so you can be anything and be a Muslim, but I guess the reason I'm standing here is because Islam is a lot about the progression of the human race and about what is natural and what is not. Islam doesn't necessarily support like the lifestyle of the LGBT community. However, they do support them as human beings, and that is something like it's something that I've struggled with because they have my 100% love and support. I take a bullet for anybody. I don't care what their sexual orientation is. My best friend, he's gay, and we've had these conversations before, and he's told me that, you know what, Husna, I love you for you. I love you for everything that we've been through together. I don't care what it is that you stand for, and that's, it's really comforting to know that you don't have to support a lifestyle to support a human being, to love a human being, and to love people unconditionally.
I love what you said. Yeah, and that's why I'm here, because the prompt was, can you be LGBTQ and Muslim? And yes, you can be anything and Muslim. If we're going to get into the logistics of lifestyle practices and the core of Scripture, yes, there are different lifestyles or things that are asked for in Scripture, but there's nothing that says they are not welcome in the faith. They are not welcome in our houses of worship. They cannot pray. They cannot stand beside us. They don't fast. They are people.
It's very hard, I would say, to be a Muslim and, part of the community.
Yeah. I agree with you. Beautiful statement.
Pause. Damn, that's a conflict. That's crazy that cause I don't know shit about Islamic or whatever the case is, but that's crazy. Cause I don't know if that says anything like as far as Christianity, like. Because at least, like she was just explaining, like at least if you are gay, it doesn't mean that you're not welcome to not do anything like far as religion-wise and like fasting and everything like that.
You're not excluded.
That's crazy. Like at least, like I guess it's Islamic, it says that. But like, I don't know for sure. Somebody can correct me. You probably can correct me if I'm wrong. But in Christianity, it's nothing that says like you're still like, free to practice this religion. Like I don't know, because the way that
I wouldn't say more so. Well, I
guess
it's more so the people like the way they I guess perceive and worship, and like what they believe, like because you hear this all the time. It's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, and like shit like that, and like that's.
But that's
not
the thing though too. Like at least their religion says that though.
Right.
Like the religion actually said just based off what they're saying. Cause I don't know shit. I mean, but they're basically what they're saying. But at least the religion says that like it's okay for you to practice this. Like even her disagreeing on the disagree side, but the people on the agree side is still like agreeing. Like yeah, it says all that you can be what you want to be. We still support you. We still do this. Blase, blase, blase. But like Christianity, they'll kick you out in the motherfucking second.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, that's why I was like, it depends on like
even though there are like Christians now that are like gay and looking for like churches that support that shit and like everything like that, like it's people that are progressive and looking for progressive churches and shit like that.
Right.
But like, I don't know if it actually says that in the Bible. Like says like. It's okay to be gay, but you can still practice Christianity. You can still be with God.
Because it's more so like
do everything. That's
why I said
Christian wise.
It all depends on the wielder. That's what I'm gonna keep saying, like it all depends on the will to like who
that's wild,
wills yeah, because like
just thinking
people
about how
grab stuff
is,
and statements and stuff and exclude people and use it to. That's why I say
they use it for their own belief, just to prove whatever the fuck they want to prove right on their end.
That's why. That's why I'm saying
crazy.
like pretty much like it's not just Christianity, but like other religions probably do that too. Like everybody has like certain things. Or certain
I know.
Things
I'm
that
just thinking about like what I
pull.
know. Like
I agree with you.
That's just crazy though.
Yeah, that is wild. That even like at that certain degree, like what they were saying, like it's like it's accepted, but isn't. I guess the lifestyle.
It's not accepted, but we won't exclude you from anything.
Right. It's like you're accepted, but not accepted at the same time.
Yeah.
Like you're accepted to worship and do everything else.
As a Muslim, whatever the case is,
but we don't accept
you
this
being gay, I guess,
right?
Or that part of you,
or that part of you, or whatever. That's like I guess
it's just crazy to me because it's like that's written down. Like you can be gay over here, but you can still practice whatever you want to practice.
Yeah.
And just like as far as I know from Christianity, like
I think it's just mostly just it's just culture, and then like people's kind of like bias when it comes to like everything else, like because like a certain person could just think this way and not just be open at all with anything. Like
that's crazy though. That's the only part that's kind of fucking my head up right now.
He's just blowing your mind today.
Yeah, because that's just crazy. Like I don't know. Starting in 3, 2, 1.
I am American. 3, 2, 1.
You were born in America, right?
I swear I'm not trying to make this controversial, but I somewhat disagree because I'm first Afghan. Then I would say I'm American.
So I do identify as Syrian first. And so what is America? So for me, that identity, because I grew up
being a
not
Syrian
feeling
American,
like a minority.
correct?
And I was always proud American. I didn't talk about my Syrian heritage. I wasn't familiar with it. And then the last decade, it was like, whoa, I kind of whitewashed my history to be the proud American, to fit in. And everyone was like, if you took off your scarf, you'd be just another white girl. It's just, there's a battle. Like, I'm proud American, but it's like, what does American mean right now?
Yes.
With everything that's happening.
As a Muslim who just happens to be black in America, I've never not known this to be my country. Because that's what this country was founded on.
That's my
being
heritage.
able to be who you are, having the freedom to be that and not feel persecuted. And so, yeah, that's how I live my life. And I'm not going to let anybody force me or talk me into thinking differently.
Pause. Somebody was banging the shit out of something in the background. I mean, if you're born in America, you're kind of American.
Yeah.
Like, I know your roots and everything like that, and your culture and everything like that. But if you're born in America, you're kind of an American. Like we can say we're African, but we're African American.
We're African American. Like we are.
If you were born of this soil,
our
you are
ancestors or whatever, or what have you, like descended from Africa. But us in general, we were born here in the United States. So
I mean, you can hold whatever you want to, like towards yourself. Like she said, she was Syrian. You're just a Syrian
American. Yeah,
I guess that's how I see it. At least I don't know how everybody else sees it, but I mean, if you were born off this land,
like you could still be a part of another subgroup, subgenre, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, you're still, count as an American because you were probably born here or you live here or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's how I see it. Starting at the 2.
So who wants to have coffee and continue this conversation?
Yeah, let's go to Starbucks.
I love how you always bring up another side to it. It's great. It's great.
So I have a question for you. You've directed every single episode of Spectrum. How do you go about finding out like what prompts to ask. Yeah, how do you do that justice?
A lot of research goes into these episodes. We try to meet with people from the group to help us come up with the prompts. We also ask you for some prompts.
The way to do that is you follow us on Instagram.
That's the way.
And when we ask you for prompts for certain groups, then you can contribute. Thanks for watching, you guys. We'll see you around and enjoy.
I would want to see like tougher questions, because
they never ask like, how do you feel about the other side of?
Yeah, like the perspective, like, because like they talked about the media, like how do you feel about because like that would have been a nice question to ask, like how do they feel about the portrayal of Muslims and like being as like an American and a Muslim person, like how do you feel about that? That would have been nice to like kind of pick their brain about like
they be dodging shit.
Well, yeah, they be kind of dodging stuff and really, but we still live them.